Tonight, two big stories in Tampa Bay. Tornadoes strike the Bay Area.
Sounds like a train coming through.
It was like a war zone.
Now entire neighborhoods are cleaning up the destruction left behind. Plus, a massive fire in the heart of Ybor City.
So I said, God, only you can stop the fire right there.
Tonight, we're learning more about the man who caused this nightclub inferno and what's next for Tampa's most iconic neighborhood. Good evening, I'm Keith Cate.
And I'm Stacy Scheibel. We begin with that fire that destroyed the Amphitheater nightclub last night. Eagle 8 HD flew above that burned out section of Ybor City today, and you can see right into the roof of that building. And
we have live team coverage on this fire tonight for you. We're going to begin with Jeff Patterson. He is joining us live in Ybor City. And Jeff, it's not just the nightclub here that's affected. So many businesses also impacted by this fire.
Yeah, good evening, Keith. What a scene here last night as flames shot into the night sky. 7th Avenue, as you can see, is still closed. And tonight, people are out of work because of this rapidly spreading fire.
It started with a spark. Tampa Fire Rescue believes a welder installing a disco ball ignited a fire that quickly spread to the roof and throughout the building. Eagle 8 HD captured these incredible images of flames shooting high above the building. From across the street, photographer Maurice Capobianco shot these dramatic images as Tampa firefighters poured thousands of gallons of water into the fire.
It's just an unbelievable job that the fire department did, containing that fire to 2 buildings.
Jason Fernandez owns several businesses in Ybor and was here just as the fire was starting.
We obviously have buildings that are very old and they're very flammable. So the fire department is always here, code enforcement is always here, making sure we're complying.
His building just next door was saved, but still a number of people are out of a job today because of the fire.
It's hard because these guys, they went to bed, they had a job, and then they woke up and now they're uncertain, not sure what's going to happen. I mean, it's a tragedy.
City code enforcement officers posted notices on surrounding buildings today, ordering the occupants to leave until a structural engineer and electricians can evaluate the damage.
It's got me completely shut down. Can't do any business. My employees are not making money. My business is not making money. My customers are not enjoying themselves.
Yeah, I talked to several business owners today, not happy because they are out of business tonight, can't reopen. But I did hear over and over again today, Keith and Stacy, how happy people are with Tampa Fire Rescue, the job they did out here tonight to prevent this fire from spreading to other buildings.
Yes, it definitely could have been a lot worse. Jeff Patterson live in Ybor City tonight. Thank you.
We know that because there have been other large fires in Ybor. We recall this one. How can you forget it if you were here in May of 2000? One of the largest fires in the history of Tampa, burning through a 450-unit apartment complex that was under construction. That fire, video seen here, burned 2 full city blocks and damaged a number of surrounding buildings. And then you had the August fire of 2000. That's the Blue Ribbon Supermarket in Ybor. It burned. The fire destroyed the 3-story building, which was constructed back in 1921. Now, last night's powerful destructive fire all started, as Jeff pointed out, with a welder who was trying to put up a disco ball inside the club. 8 on Your Side has been looking into that worker's background. Investigator Shannon Bacon joins us now with what she has found.
Keith, shockingly, every person I spoke with tells me that they are not surprised this happened. I found that this welder has an extensive history of working on Ybor City buildings. He is not a licensed contractor, and he gets paid in a very unusual way.
Welder Robert Sean Rogers told investigators he accidentally started a fire as he tried to move a bracket to hang a disco ball at Ybor City's Amphitheater Club. Our 8 on Your Side investigation found Rogers is quite proud of his work, sharing photos on his Facebook page. But Ybor business owners say he is known for roaming Ybor in his unmarked truck looking for jobs. And just moments ago, our Jeff Patterson found him roaming again.
You want to defend your reputation?
No, you want to talk to my lawyer.
No, I want to talk to you because you were the man that was here.
No, sir, I wasn't running the show.
Business owners tell me Rogers works in exchange for vouchers for food and booze. Yanko Maceda, who owns a cigar business, tells me he refused to hire Rogers.
I don't know if he do all the necessary things to not, for sparks not to fly. It looks like it didn't work out last night.
So you wouldn't trust him?
To do work on my building, no.
So I checked out Rogers, and he does not have a license to do some of his biggest e-board jobs, like balcony work. I reached Rogers by phone, and he refused to answer my questions.
Okay, are you licensed?
Rogers has a long arrest sheet for charges like cocaine possession, leaving the scene of a crash with injury, and grand theft.
I think for everything you have to hire a professional, but even for things like that, like electrical and all that stuff, no, I want someone that is a little bit more responsible.
I also checked with city officials, and they tell me no permits were pulled for this job last night, and that is a problem.
Now, if you're a welder, you don't need a license, but are investigators looking into his actions and what he brings to the table as a professional?
I think some people would be surprised to learn that to just do some welding work, you do not have to have a license, but you do have to have an occupational license, you do have to pull permits, and you do have to have a state contracting license in order to do things like putting balconies on these buildings, and that's what we heard today that he did. So they're looking into all of that now, and officials tell me that some of this stuff, they didn't know about this work until 8 on Your Side brought it to their attention.
Well, a lot to find out as we go forward on this one. The investigation continues. Thank you for that. And a reminder that we have some new raw video of the nightclub fire and much more up on WFLA.com.
And now to our other big story of the day, a tornado outbreak in Tampa Bay. Check out this incredible video of a water spout this morning. It was shot by Don Evans near Sand Key. You can see that funnel cloud right there over the water. And more incredible video, this out of Clearwater, a twister right along the tree line. This was actually taken at Pinellas County's Emergency Response Building on Drew Street. The noise from the storms woke up plenty of people this morning. 3 EF0 tornadoes touched down, one in Pasco County where dozens of homes were damaged. The other 2 tornadoes were in Pinellas County. One was that water spout in Clearwater Beach, the other in Clearwater near the Courtney Campbell Causeway. And Peter Bernard joins us live from Clearwater tonight. And here's the good news, the silver lining in all this, a lot of damage, but nobody injured, Peter.
Good evening, Stacy. You are right. Despite lots of large limbs falling in many of the neighborhoods around here, nobody was injured. However, now comes the job of cleanup. The sound of chainsaws replaced the sound of swirling winds in a Clearwater neighborhood. Ben Broderson gathered his family under futons and mattresses.
Seemed like if the house is going to come down, if at least we're under mattresses, we might be okay.
At the Brigadoon Apartments, a limb lodged next to a steering wheel.
This morning, thank God we're running late. So they wasn't in the car, still preparing to get out. Any other time, though, give or take, they would have been in that car.
Neighbors report hearing a roaring noise.
Sounds like a train coming through, and all of a sudden there's tree branches flying all over the place.
A limb punctured his roof. The storm also ravaged parts of this neighborhood.
It was like a war zone. Garbage cans, the big, the ones with the wheels that the trucks lift, they were traveling down the street doing 60 miles an hour, slamming into things.
At a nearby park, the storm mangled soccer goals, a large fence, and a new scoreboard.
My trampoline got picked up and thrown into a tree, and it's broke.
The storm mostly spared Haley Dixon's house, but her prized trampoline is ruined. She and her family took cover.
I went into my mom and dad's closet that had no windows.
Like a giant banana, the storm peeled this roof off. And all day long, there have been tree crews here. Now we see a Duke Energy crew behind me. I want to point out something. In this neighborhood here, look at this. Somebody put up a sign, I think it's the county, warning about unlicensed contractors. Oftentimes when you see storms like this come through, right after that, unlicensed contractors go through. So that storm's to warn people about that. Down at the Brigadoon Apartments, there are 3 apartments that are not livable, and right now the Red Cross is helping those folks. Stacy?
All right, again, nobody injured. That's the good news. Peter Bernard live in Clearwater. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now to Pasco County we go. Clean up there after an EF0 tornado. 57 homes damaged, roofs torn apart, shingles ripped off the mobile homes, carports, sheds, all tossed around. You can see some of the debris left here. One couple said it only took about 3 seconds for their pool enclosure to fly right off.
The top of our lanai, it did like a wave. It picked up and back down, up and back down. And honestly, at that time, I kind of closed the shades, went into the bathroom, told the wife there was a tornado coming. We had to stay in the bathroom, and then I heard it just go off.
Sound of me, and off it goes. Our crews found scenes like this all over Port Richey. Eagle 8 HD flying over this scene. This is on Mesa Verde Street. You can see a massive tree toppled in between two homes. And it's important to have as much warning as possible when severe weather strikes. You want to make sure you download our Storm to Make Weather Max app. You can check the radar and get alerts right on your smartphone.
I got plenty of them this morning.
You got a lot of warnings, and you need them.
A lot of people up. Yep. Well, a dangerous chase caught on camera.
Coming up, a motorcyclist speeding through traffic. Deputies hot in pursuit. We'll show you how it came to an end.
Well, a stormy morning with that cold front. Now we're feeling what's behind that front over the next 24 hours and into this weekend. Cooler, drier air. Very nice weekend forecast coming up.
New tonight, a motorcyclist arrested for leading Sarasota County deputies on a chase, and that pursuit was caught on camera. Here's the video from the sheriff's helicopter. That bright spot in the middle, that's the motorcyclist. Off he goes, weaving in and out of traffic. Deputies say he was going more than 100 miles per hour. They eventually caught him, though, and took him into custody. A Pinellas County deputy is recovering after being involved in a crash. It happened this morning at the intersection of US 19 and Ulmerton Road in Largo. The deputy was responding to a call when another car slammed into his cruiser. No one was seriously hurt.
Now we have an 8 on your side consumer alert for hockey fans who are going to the Frozen Four. Watch out for ticket scammers. Tampa police are telling people to be wary of private sellers. If you don't buy from an authorized dealer, you do run the risk of buying fake tickets and getting turned away. There haven't been any fake ticket incidents yet, but police do want you to be vigilant. I'm going tonight.
Yeah, you're going. You have some friends in town from North Dakota, and they're playing tonight. Who are they playing?
Denver.
Denver. So go.
I used to live in North Dakota. For those who didn't know that. I'm one of what?
700,000, I think, is the population of North Dakota. So, almost the size of Tampa Bay.
I know.
The whole state. Anyway, he wasn't even on duty, but this guy may have saved some lives.
Yeah, a Winter Haven detective helped stop a potential school shooting, and we're going to tell you how he did it from hundreds of miles away. Well, going above and beyond the call of duty.
A Winter Haven detective is being praised tonight for helping stop a possible school shooting in Kansas. We're talking hundreds of miles away, and he's at work. He sat down with News Channel 8's Melissa Marino, and Melissa, not only was this not in his jurisdiction, he wasn't even on duty at the time.
Yeah, that's right. He had just gotten home from work. He was on his cell phone searching through Facebook when he saw something that looked like a very serious threat, so he got to work. It started with a bizarre exchange on PlayStation and a 16-year-old boy threatening to shoot up his school. Under the username Weeklong100, he posted 2 photos of guns, along with the message, "Shooting up my school tomorrow."
Somebody needs to find out who this guy is because he's saying he's going to shoot up a school.
It spread all over Facebook. The post caught the eye of Winter Haven detective Charles Bolton.
You see things on the news all the time about, schools getting shot up and stuff like that, and I didn't want to see that on the news later.
He reached out to the PlayStation network to figure out the identity of the user. After some good old-fashioned police work, the detective learned it was a 16-year-old in Leavenworth, Kansas, and he didn't stop there.
I sent Leavenworth PD out there.
Detectives in Kansas went to the teen's house to check it out. There they found both of the guns in the threatening post. See?
All right, Melissa Marino live in Polk County. Great story. Thanks.
It doesn't take long for the weather to change in Florida. Of course, we had the severe thunderstorms with the tornadoes this morning. Obviously, things are much quieter now. 73 degrees at the lows, Don Cesar. 5 100s in the way of precipitation. Beautiful out on the beaches. Here at Hula Bay on the Tampa side, too, 76 degrees. 28 100s in the way of precipitation at that location. And out in Lakeland, picking up about the same amount there. And 78 degrees, bit breezy here, too. You can see we have a northwest wind at that location. Frozen 4 going on right now in downtown Tampa at Amalie Arena right there in Thunder Alley. Weather looks fantastic this evening. 76 degrees. This game going on right now, BC and Quinnipiac, and Denver and University of North Dakota coming up this evening. So if you're headed out there, if just to attend the festivities and hang out, weather looks good there too. Same for Sun and Fun. Really timing out good. The storms are gone now, and sampling some beautiful weather for tomorrow at 1 p.m. 79. Mostly sunny, pleasant, breezy with mild temperatures for us 6 p.m. We also have a launch of a SpaceX rocket tomorrow tomorrow at 4:43 p.m. from Cape Canaveral to resupply that mission to the International Space Station. Had good weather for that. Obviously, there's a lot of parameters there, too. They have to watch the speed of the upper-level winds. This evening, 76 degrees, mostly clear skies to start the day tomorrow. 64 degrees, which is pretty close to our average. In the afternoon for tomorrow, looking for a nice day, 79 degrees, mostly sunny and breezy and warm. But another cold front set to move through here for Saturday with little notice in the way of creating any kind of weather. It'll just reinforce the cooler, drier air in place, actually make it cooler for Saturday and a beautiful Sunday, too. These are the temps now. Mostly mid and upper 70s, 80 frostproof, 75 Sarasota, 80 in Inverness. Series of cold fronts, area of high pressure building in. Sometimes we don't draw the front on the map, but basically it's what it is a different air mass moving into the area. Right now, just a few clouds left around associated with the front, kind of pushing through the state of Florida at the moment. Winds are generally breezy out of the west, so it could be kind of gusty this evening. If you're going to be out, might make it feel just a little bit cooler. This evening, mostly clear. Enjoy the outdoors. I mentioned might be a little cooler feeling later evening hours because of the breezes that might be kicking up a bit. Friday morning looks great. And plenty of sun in the afternoon. Blue skies, a bit breezy as we talked about. High pressure will continue to build our way, kind of reinforcing cooler, drier air, and that'll set up a nice Saturday evening. Pure blue skies, below average temperatures. Kind of cool to start the day, really, on Sunday. That is the cool morning, but we'll end up with a beautiful day with highs in the mid-70s under partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies. So a great weekend ahead. This all comes, by the way, for free with low humidity, so we like that. But by next week, we'll get the humidity coming back as the winds come more easterly out of that area of high pressure building off the east coast, and we'll work some slight rain chances in here too as a cold front stalls to the north of us. You kind of don't hang around with this kind of weather as we get into almost mid-April here. So once we get into next week, it'll feel a bit more seasonal with low 80s.
Better than North Dakota, you think, this time of year?
I was explaining that this was unusual for us.
Yes, but the North Dakotans will like the wind because it's always windy in North Dakota.
They did ask why they don't visit more often.
Yeah.
They might now.
Yeah, they might. Yeah, they might never go home.
All right, well, they're going to the game. We know that. And we're going to talk about sports here. And the Bucks preseason schedule is also out. We'll tell you which games you will see right here on News Channel 8.
And some Lightning fans never thought they'd see this player again. Dan Lucas tells us who the Colts called up to play tonight in New Jersey.
Sports on News Channel 8 is brought to you by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers.
Hey, Bucks off-season workouts begin in just a few days, but nothing gets the football blood going like seeing real opponents on a schedule. Today, the NFL rolled out the preseason schedule for each team, the soft open. The Bucks will begin the preseason at the scene of the crime if you're an Eagles fan. Remember, Jameis Winston and Doug Martin both enjoyed a huge day against the Eagles last season. This year, the Bucks will begin their preseason with back-to-back road games due to renovations at Raymond James Stadium. And of course, News Channel 8, your official Bucs station, will bring you that game as well as two others during the month of August. The Bucs go from Philly to Jacksonville in week 2. The Cleveland Browns come to Tampa for a national TV game. And then News Channel 8 is back for the finale at home against the Washington Redskins. Well, the bizarre saga of Lightning forward Jonathan Drouin comes full circle tonight when Drouin hits the ice in New Jersey for the Bolts game against the Devils. Some fans thought they'd never see this happen, especially after Drouin demanded a trade, failed to show up at a minor league game, and was suspended. Drouin patched things up with Lightning general manager Steve Yzerman, enough to return and score 9 goals in 10 games for the Syracuse Crunch. This morning, Drouin said his Lightning teammates were glad to have him back.
Yeah, definitely. You don't know how they can treat you a little bit, but, you know, been first class all the way when I went back down there second time. You guys have been great to help me. You know, I didn't feel awkward, didn't feel anything, so, you know, I owe a lot to these guys down there to help me a lot, and same with the staff.
Now, the NCAA Frozen Four is underway at Amalie Arena in Tampa. The nightcap should be full of fireworks. The Denver Pioneers meet the North Dakota Fighting Hawks for the 6th time this season. They each have 2 wins and a tie in the series. But the Pioneers must try to figure out this power play thing. 0 for 19 against the Hawks this year.
First time I played them, at least, wasn't where we wanted to be, and I think it's improved as the season's gone on. But, yeah, I think The main thing is we need to have a shot-first mentality.
Their penalty kill's been outworking our power play, and if we outwork them, we're going to get the puck more, and we're going to create plays, and we'll be fine.
We have North Dakota fans in the studio tonight. They're awfully quiet over there. But I'll tell you, it's loud in the arena right now. Quinnipiac up 3-1 on Boston College. I think some fans might be surprised by that. But 2-goal lead there in the second. Tonight, Denver and North Dakota.
And you know what makes it more interesting? It's a one and done. I mean, this is it. It is.
And
what about the Masters, by the way?
Jordan Spieth, out of nowhere today. I mean, he hasn't been playing very well lately. 6 under par in his first round. So we'll get that all wrapped up tonight. They're still on the course up in Augusta.
Wow.
Let me tell you something.
Great weekend.
Watching it on television, a little windy, but it is gorgeous. Always gets you going, doesn't it?
But we're going to want to be outside, too, so even outdoor TV.
Well, Stacy's off to the game. Steve and Jen will be back for News Channel 8 at 7. I'll see you back here tonight at 11.
Have a great night.
Good night.
Go Fighting Hawks.